All right, welcome back, boys. We got two more trades to talk about, and then we'll give it over to Corey here. He has something planned for us. He said it's real special. Um, we got Thomas Chabot on the move again with the 17th for Garnet Hathaway and an 18th. This is again a deal between the Daltrys. Um, well, I got you on top now, Kyle. So I'm gonna go to defer to you first. What do you think of this?
Meh. It's a nothing trade.
It's a nothing trade. I agree with that. What do you think, Corey?
Yeah, I'm with Kyle. Not worth commenting on this one.
You hear that, Daltries? Your deals are shit. Uh, Start doing something interesting. Give us something to talk about. Domo's still active after that.
Then you give him something to talk about.
Yeah. Travis is out there saying, I'll make a deal, player for player, whatever, depending on the player. And he gets this trade offer: Nyquist in an eighth for Olofsson in a ninth. Olofsson, who was picked up off the waiver wire 2 days before this, for the record, and he pays an eighth for this. Kyle, what do you think?
I'm not tracking if Olofsson did anything to suddenly increase his value immensely.
I think he had
Is
two
there?
goals.
You got two goals. So I remember this one year, the first game of the season. Chris Phillips, Ottawa Senators, scored two goals first game of the season, on pace for 164 or whatever. In the entire season, he scored four goals. And maybe he hoodwinked Captain Crunch into picking up some trash. Maybe this guy turns out to be something. But I'm going to lean towards that this is another bad deal for Captain Crunch, and he traded for trash.
I'm inclined to agree with that. What do you think, Corey?
Yeah, he's a pretty one-dimensional player. Before when he was in Boston, I don't know what his role looks like in Vegas, so I can't really comment on that. It's kind of a wash trade. I understand this is where he kind of loses his pick value that he trades sells his players for is kind of like this. Let's see how long he holds on to Olofsson, right? That's the key thing because he would make these trades last year that didn't seem half bad, but then would just move the player immediately.
An eighth,
Yeah,
though, is this too
yeah,
much for a player like him?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I agree.
You're losing
So,
value in this trade.
yep, yep.
Anyway, he's going to be him.
Each their own.
Corey, let's throw it over to you here. What do you have for us?
Oh, see on my screen here? Oh, no.
Not yet. I enabled you to share screen. I'm not seeing anything.
Oh,
No.
yeah. Scorchers FHL.
Can you
How
see
come
that?
how come I don't see that?
Maybe you're not looking at the video, you were looking at what the screen is that you were sharing. So you have to go to the
Here,
meeting then.
here, I'm going to stop share online.
I like the
There we go.
2019-2020 COVID season. Definitely not Sean.
All right, I see your screen now. I stopped sharing mine. So,
Okay. Are you good to keep recording then?
yeah, it's still recording.
Oh, okay. There you go. All right. So I just wanted to throw something together. I didn't want to talk to you about it, Shane, because we'll go through here, but big 10th year. Um, we'll see who the champ is going to be this year, but you've been on quite the run lately. Uh, 3 of the last 4 years, even the year that you did lose was runner up. So I thought it'd be cool to kind of give a year in review of the champion team and kind of how it was assembled. Um, Starting off with the draft here, you can see the keepers obviously McDavid, Matthews, Kachuk, Kemper, Anderson. Not a terrible start, 8th round. I've seen worse out of you
That was
for
like
the
my
first
best one.
pick. Yeah, picking up Kevin Fiala. Um, Logan Cooley in the 9th, Luke Shen in the 10th. Don't even want to try to pronounce his name. Zek Jad in the
That guy.
11th. Jacki Romanov in the 11th. Ristolaine in the 11th. DePet in the 13th. He jumped to like the 7th this year. Lion in the 13th. Hurdle in the 14th. Maltz in the 14th. Kane in the 15th, Dursey in the 15th, and Hoffer in the 16th. Looking back, 8 of them ended up making it to the end with you. 4 keepers, Kemper obviously on the outs. We'll kind of talk to that soon, but then Fiala, Shen, Romanov, and Kane made it all the way to the end. Anything you want to kind of say about the draft here?
About that draft?
Yeah. Any comments from you two?
Well, you put X's beside the ones I kept, right? All the way?
Yeah. Yeah. Comment on the ones you're highlighted, like that. Yeah. That went to the end.
I think
So,
Dursey was on my team till the playoffs, but then uh interesting. I would not have got rid of Jackeye, except he was injured for the first 3 months of the season. And I gave up on him. Then 3 weeks later, he came back.
yeah.
I thought that was a well-crafted team, though. Well-crafted.
Yeah. So
Well,
4 people make it all the way to the end with the amount of trades and movement. Interesting
not too
to
bad.
see, right? Yeah. Then we kind of look on to see the trades that created the team. Starting here pretty early in the year here, October 19th. Connor Murphy and Connor Hellebuck, 17th and an 18th. Going over to Shane for Thomas Hurdle, Darcy Kemper, a 6th and a 10th to Team RKO. Big year for Hellebuck. Looking back, that was a brutal goalie movement for Shane. For Sean.
Oh, 100% it was.
But we thought that before at the time of the trade. So
Yeah.
He could have been Dan's, but Dan wouldn't throw in that second pick.
Yep, it's true. And he had
I
a
would have
hell of
thrown
a
that
year.
pick every time.
Yeah, so that's one we'll talk about with you, Sean. Next up, Heiskanen made it all the way to the end for you. You traded Dmitry Kulikov in a 12th round pick to Domo for Miro Heiskanen in a 16th to yourself. I think a 12th was dirt cheap at the time for Heiskanen, was my opinion. So I'd still say
I
the
remember you
same thing.
commented on that
Great.
deal at the time. You
I
said, like,
was
that's a good deal.
like, Jesus Christ, like, why for 12? Like, that's nothing.
It's
But
nothing.
what, you guys got anything to say?
Domo doing
Next
Domo
trade,
things.
January 5th, Sam Bennett in a 9th round going to Travis for Clayton Keller in a 12th round pick. Big, not a big price to pay for a guy who went on to be a keeper for you. Just a 3-round upgrade, right? And I know you liked Bennett. Just obviously Keller gave you what you needed. So
Everyone likes Bennett, right? Because of what he brings. I believe I got him on the waiver wire because you notice he wasn't on my draft list.
No, because he was
Yeah,
hurt
he
for a
did.
while.
Yeah, he was injured at the start of the season, and I picked him up.
Yeah.
And turned him into Keller.
Not a bad move.
Next up, you receiving Duchesne, Alex Ovechkin, a 12th and a 16th. Trading away Logan Cooley, Adam Henrique, a 7th and an 8th. Deshaun once again. Duchesne with a killer year. Ovi with a slump until playoffs.
Ovi raped me in the first round of the playoffs. Like, raped.
That change of scenery was really good for him.
Yeah. Cooley, obviously, I know you're high on him, but not a steep price to pay. 7th and 8th, not huge either, right?
He was supposed to keep Cooley. That was the idea, and he didn't keep him.
Sean, get him on here so you can talk about it. Moving on here. You flipped Owen to Pet. In an 8th round pick over to Casey for Peter Mrazek. Goalie who got a lot of shots. Actually had some huge games for you though come playoffs. He really played well. And only a 2-round upgrade to get a starting goalie from a guy who just doesn't have goalies. I was surprised by this trade. I do like Tippett, but I think that's Mrazek could help you.
He quietly put up good numbers on a really bad team, so that was the idea. Like, how cheap can I get him? And I needed a third goalie essentially, and that was the idea.
Then we look at the ad drops. that you had along the way. So this is the playoff ad drops that you had, and then Laurent Brozois. You picked him up a few weeks earlier, and he just rode the wave there, and he played really well for you in Winnipeg. But you got Sean Walker, Nick Sealer stayed to the end, Liam O'Brien, Byram, Greenaway. Dakota Joshua had some good games for you too. Noonan played well at the end of the season.
I
And
think those are just
goaltending.
spot starts, some of
Yeah,
them, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. So there weren't too much. Um, nothing crazy. So how good were the players? So gotta show the stats up here. Um, if you look even at the rankings of them, nothing crazy outside of the keepers. Like if you just look at overalls, their rankings, which is a little bit different than our league, right? That's why you see a guy like Luke Chen with so much less value, even though he put up a ton of hits.
that's all he does, right? But
Yeah.
that's why I needed him.
The goaltending, Hellbuck, killer year, 37 wins. Anderson hurt. He played fucking outstanding in the playoffs, though. And even Mrazek there, 907. What were the
Bad
saves though?
Chicago
Look at the
team.
saves though, 1,500 saves. Like just, yeah. Ooh,
It's great talking
there you
about
go.
my championship team, you know?
No, and then what did you sacrifice like going into it, right? So obviously we saw the change in the keeper here to Keller in nets with Kemper out. And then now this year though you didn't draft to the 10th.
Yeah.
But you ended in the 15th, very compressed. But you made a lot of those ad drop deals, which is why you don't have those super late picks, right? So I know you're pretty happy with your team, so that worked out well for you. And then yeah, we're all finished here.
Nice touch, Corey. Nice touch. Well done.
So that's all I had to say. I just thought it'd be cool to talk about. Look at how was the team created, right? Because you've done well for a few years, so
Yeah.
obviously it's something that I thought would be interesting to see. Just a few trades. Some guys move some big pieces to you, Sean.
Yeah. Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Connor Hellebuck was a huge disaster for the whole league.
Yeah, that was huge.
I mean, I don't say disaster for the whole league, but for about 15 GMs.
Right.
That's interesting little segment though. Is that something that you'd want to do for other years?
Yeah, something we could look at.
Like possibly going back since our 10-year anniversary, we could theoretically go review other seasons and it'd be interesting to see what moves brought you to your championship back in the day, right? And Derek and all those.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot of work, so I'm not going to say, hey, this is what you should do. It's something we could maybe visit if you get
Yeah,
bored.
it actually isn't too bad to use when you have the website going.
Yeah.
So it didn't take too long.
That was actually really interesting to see everything in perspective once it was all done, right? So
Yeah, we can really reflect on it. But we kind of have the last segment, right? Say your congrats, and we don't really talk about it too much, but I think it's a interesting outlook.
yeah, I agree. I'm always happy
I
hearing
figured you wouldn't
talking
complain
about the
about that.
Champions team and
I
his
don't got to
greatness.
feed the
So,
ego anymore, but
yeah. All I heard from that whole segment was, man, you made some great moves. Man, that's why you're champ.
they were
Your team's
great
great.
deals. I thought people let you win a few deals that really paid off. But
Sometimes,
you drafted guys that obviously you had the right idea, right? You got four of them.
yeah,
In the end,
I
so
mean, and some of the guys I moved had value,
yeah,
but I'm always looking to improve, right? So, and I'm never shy to move my draft picks in order to get that improvement. Even if I have to give a piece I don't really necessarily want to move, I'll still do it if it's improving my team overall. And some GMs get hung up on a player and they're like, no, I can't move this guy no matter what. Well, if the deal's right, then sometimes you have to make that
sure.
decision. But that's the difference between being a champion and being a scumbag like most of this league. Before we talk
For
about
sure.
before we talk about this week's matchups, though, I just want to remind everyone that this is what it's all about right here. This trophy. I feel like it should have some screen time every week since this is what we play for. Um, my name's been on it a lot lately, and I want someone to step up and give me a challenge. Winning 12-3 in the finals last season is a fucking joke. I need someone to step up who actually wants to win and make it interesting for me. This is getting boring, boys. It's getting boring. I'm still having a little fun, but it's like picking apart fucking carcasses, picking from the carcasses right now. Like, what's going on here, boys?
Shut up. Shut up. Let's carry on here. That's enough.
All right, speaking of fucking carcasses, this week we start off with Le Champion getting his Braden bye week. I know he's pretty cocky right now because he beat Nick, and he's talking about how the Braden bye week's going to retirement this week. Like, shut the fuck up, bud. My whole keeper pool is better than anything you have on your roster. Way better, and they're just gonna dominate you. I know Kachuk is injured. He's ill. He's ill and he will not play all week. Maybe that'll play a factor, but I think my team is still good enough that this should be a fucking walk in the park. I usually would go to you guys first, but since I'm really in the trash talking mode, I really want to get that out. This is the guy who fucking is 2-time winner of the Caucasaurus, and he thinks he's on my level. Just remember, bud, Team Ramrod is better than you. All of you. So obviously I'm picking Team Ramrod this week against the fucking Braden bye week. Let's go to you, Kyle. Who do you have?
Team Ramrod is better than the Braden bye week. Not even a question.
I agree. I agree with your comment there. Thank you for backing me up there. So I take it that you're taking Team Ramrod to beat the lowly Braden and his fucking GM buddy?
Yeah, him and his bum buddy. Yeah, they're going down on each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the
they're
same
gonna
thing.
with the tears.
I think your team is just slightly better than them.
Slightly. Wow.
So I think you'll get the win. We'll see. Did you get to pick his team name?
I was gonna pick his team name, but he suggested, I'll name it the Braden bye week, and I was all right with that. Let's name it that.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what everybody else calls them, so might as well embrace it.
It's just too perfect not to do it. I could have called them like the GM assistance program or something like that. I don't know, but just mock the fact that it takes two of them to even get a win in this league. He need to call a friend.
Yeah.
What was his record last year?
He only had 2 wins, I think, or 2 non-losses. I don't think they were wins. I think one was a win. I think it was 119-1 or something like that. We'll get Stat Guy on that. He needs something to do. He hasn't done anything all this season. It's been a while. Stat Guy, remind us. I know you'll love to take a shot at Braden after the way he's talking trash to you. Remind us in the chat later on what his actual record was. We would love to hear it.
Yeah, I think the new name, I love the Braden bye week and it's perfect, but an alternative name could be 2 guys, 1 cock.
Oh, I like that. 2 guys, 1 cock, 1 golden cock.
219-1.
219. You took Stat Guy's job. Now what's he gonna do?
Yeah. Oh yeah, nothing like he's doing all season.
Wow. No. Dumpster Fire is taking on the fucking lead candidate for the cock this year. Travis versus Mark. Another real nail biter for Mark here after taking on pure ass last week. I don't know why. This is the lower card of, this is the opening fucking matches here. These guys are trash. These guys shouldn't even be on the card. They should not even be in the league right now with the way their franchise is building up. Who do you got, Kyle?
Can I get Mark's schedule, please? He's got a fantastic schedule.
You can't take advantage of it. He fucking tied Casey.
Jesus. Yeah, clearly Mark. I mean, Travis still doesn't have a fucking point.
And there were games this afternoon, right? So
fucking Mr. Goose Egg over there. He fucking blows.
Wow.
I don't think
Emphatically, Kyle saying that Travis is just trash. Who do you got, Corey?
hurts to say I got you, Mark. Just Travis so bad. Like 4 points, like 2 goals, 2 assists. Like and Paterka here is only like keeper at the time. Like he already traded Knies, like you said. Paterka's now on the block. Like fucking. Let's see if anyone's willing to sell by the time he starts buying.
People
And
are
then
still
and then
selling
I'll and
now.
then I'll give you a vote for a win potentially. But you got a fucking hell of a lot of work to do.
If he wanted to, he could be super aggressive and make aggressive offers and get people to sell players that probably wouldn't be for sale normally.
Yep. But you'd have to overpay, and he doesn't do that.
If I was in a situation, I would make a small list of guys that I'd be willing to overpay and just go for it. Guys that probably would be difficult to get in the draft, who might not even be in there, right? So,
Yep.
but I'm going to also choose Mark. I just have no faith in Travis at this moment with this current roster he is fielding. That's not saying a lot about Mark, but I think he'll sneak away with a win, or who knows, maybe even a tie because he can't even beat Casey. So
Nope.
I'm gonna give the edge to Mark for sure.
Just to be clear, I'm picking a goose egg for Travis, like a 0.
That's interesting. I have a little more faith in him. I think he might take a point. He might sneak a shorthanded point. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. It'll be interesting to follow. When will he get his first point? Daltrey. The 0-1 and 0. Daltrey the Beef taking on the 0-1 and 0. Sorokin these nuts. Former champion against a guy who's just a flake. Who do you got, Kyle?
I got Daltrey. I don't think Neil's team is quite there yet. I think Daltrey has a good team, and I think he'll probably get more out of his team this week, as long as he starts them.
That's always the issue with Daltrey.
Did he miss any this week?
What's that?
Did he miss any this week?
I don't
Not
know.
that I'm
I didn't
tracking.
check because
Oh.
it was afternoon games today, right? So he might have missed some. That's usually when he misses. I didn't check though. I did not check.
Yeah, I do have Daltrey as well.
There were 3 games today, so. And you're going with Daltrey as well for the same reasons?
Yep.
Just because of your hatred for Neil?
He didn't miss any games today.
He didn't? That's a
It's
change. He must have been
unfortunate.
at work.
I wanted something to complain about.
I'm gonna actually go with Neil. I think this could go either way, but I think he's just a more reliable GM than Daltrey. And I feel he'll do the extra work to actually get the win. So I'm gonna go with Neil. What we got now here, we have everyone loves Raymond. The Detroit Red Wings taking on Team Rocket. Will they blast off again? Kyle, who do you got?
Yes, they will blast off again. I will remind this league that I have a terrible record against Derek. I have 1 win in 10 years against Derek. I got that at the end of last season, my first win against him.
So you're on a streak against them.
I'm on a winning streak against Derek currently.
Yep.
A whole 1 game. But historically, my team does not show up to play Derek.
So you're going with Derek?
Yeah, I'm going with Derek. I think I have a good team. I just, for whatever reason, they don't show up against Derek.
Fair. Who do you got, Corey?
I'm going to give it to Kyle. I think your team's going to get the win. I think it'll be a good battle. Wouldn't really be surprised if it went either way. But I'm giving you the nod this week.
Woohoo. Hope you're right.
I was on the fence, but I'm not going to go for a guy who doesn't have faith in his own team. So I'm going to go with Derek. If you don't think you're going to win, then I have no reason to believe that you're going to win. So I'm with you on this one, Kyle. I'm going to go with Derek. I seen what your team did last week. And like I said, a 10-year-old could beat you. And last I checked, Derek is older than 10.
Hey, I lost to a world champion, okay? World champion.
That's right. Best champion this league has ever seen. 3 rings, boys. 3 rings in 4 years. I still have that blemish from that dumpster fire, but man.
You shouldn't have been there anyway.
That's what everyone says, but a win's a win, I'm told. A win's a win.
Yeah, win's a win.
Forgot about Dre. Battle of the Knicks. Forgot about Dre 0-1-0 after a surprising loss, taking on Patches, who's 1-0-0 after a surprising win. Who do you have here, Kyle?
It's hard to cheer against forgot about Dre. Patches does have a good team, so I expect him to put up a good fight. But I think Nick will pull through for his first win of the season here.
All right, to be clear, you're going with Dre and not just
Dre,
Nick in
yes.
general.
Yes, sorry.
Corey, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think Nick has a better team. And by I say associate.
I rarely go against Dre because I know how good his team is. Keeper base is better than Patches. I think people were surprised that Patches got the win last week. I think everyone was shocked that Dre didn't get the win last week. So I'm going to go with Dre. It's a safe bet. What he does in this league is just usually win. Till comes the playoff time, then he did once, and he'd even win that. He fucking tied when he won his title, so he'd even win. So another point at you, Sean. Just a reminder, you lost the tie. Um, Mentally Bedarded sitting at 1-0-0, taking on Captain Crunch, who's 0-1-0. Who do you got here, Kyle?
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, I think Captain Crunch's team or Domo's team is trash. I think it's a rebuild year, and I think Kyle's on the rise. So I'm going to go with Mentally Bedarded here.
Yeah, I respect that logic. Who do you got, Corey?
Yeah, like you got Domo on a hot start already in the series. But I would have given it to Bedard at the start of the week. Just think his team is better.
Do you
He put up a
mean
good
like
fight with
12
me.
hours ago?
Yep. You know what I mean.
So you give it the plums?
Yep.
I also am going with plums, but I would just like to say that it's nice that people are finally agreeing with what I've been saying for the last few years that Domo's team is trash, and people are finally seeing it. I told everyone that his strategy just won't work long term, and now you're seeing the effects of that. I think he needs to switch it up, even if it's just for a season or two to rebuild his stock, and then go back to trading everyone under the sun. But maybe that'd be better off for him. He hasn't been the same team since he lost in the finals to the Champion 4 seasons ago. That broke him. His guy was sitting in the box while my boy Stevenson went out and scored a shorthanded GWG to win the title for me. He got those Tims, but I got the last lap with the GWG.
Oh, that's great.
Pure ass. 0-0-1 with more points than Sauce Pass at 0-1-0. Who do you have here, Kyle?
I got Corey winning this one. But to be clear, I think it's gonna be close. I don't think Casey's team is that bad. I think Casey's a borderline playoff team, and I think Corey's a playoff team as well. But I'm gonna give the edge to Corey.
Bold statement. Casey's a borderline playoff team.
I mean, like when you see some of these,
if he can get some starts, right? He has some solid players.
He has no goaltending is the issue.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, that's just the big gap.
Yeah.
There's 4 teams in this league who I feel are trash right now. There's at least 4. So, and I don't think Casey's one of those.
Now?
Name drop them.
Oh, we want
Le Champion.
Well, Jerka
Forgot about Dre.
Zabed Hannah, fucking Polly the goalie, Sean.
I like that.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Dan.
Oh.
And I'm gonna say Domo.
I don't think
this guy's starting rivalries. I love it. Not afraid to call teams trash. Because let's be real, most of the league is trash, boys. I've been saying it for a while now. But I like hearing it from someone else. It just doesn't make me look as bad now. But I appreciate your honesty with your assessment of these trash bag teams. Corey, who do you have here?
Oh, which one are we on? Me?
You?
Yeah, obviously I'm going to go for me. I shouldn't lose to pure ass. I shouldn't, but You never know. My team did not show up this week, so nothing's certain.
I will say this about Casey's team. Again, he has great forwards, top tier forwards. After that, there's a drop off in talent on his team. His goaltending is not there as well. I do think you're going to come out with the win. That's tough for me to say because I'm an ass man. I like a nice ass, but this guy is. I don't think it's ass in the right way. So I think Corey's going to come out here with the win. Now we have a battle between two trash teams. Fetch Me a Drink 1-0 against Savannah Jihadist at 1-0. Apparently they're both trash, but they both have more wins than you, Kyle. Who do you have here?
Well, they didn't face Le Champion last week.
That's
to be
right.
fair,
Lucky for them. Lucky for them.
lucky for them. I'm gonna give it to Dan. His trash bag doesn't stink as much.
Oh, especially after 8 goals today on Kemper. Who do you have here, Corey?
Yeah, I'm going with Dan, but I don't think he's as trash as you say. Not even just because he's my buddy, but I think he has a good team. He was my prediction to win it all, so that says something there. Either my prediction's way off and I'm trash, or you are.
Yeah, we have two very different ideas about Dan's team.
Yep. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Dan.
I'm also going with Dan just because fuck you, Sean. That's all. That's the only reason. Fuck you, Sean. I don't care for either team, really. I have no preference which one of these trash bag teams wins. It doesn't matter in the end. It honestly doesn't matter who wins any matchup in the end, except mine. That's all.
Because you're better than everybody.
I'm better than everyone, so it doesn't matter. I'm continuing my trek at perfect season here so far. I'm challenging someone to stop me. Let's go, boys. This might be the year where everyone just fucking folds. They just realize they can't hang.
And
1-0, and this is the ego. Fuck. Better stop him soon, boys. Gotta shut that mouth up soon.
And boys, you're welcome for giving you ammo to do better.
I have to just continue to improve. I have to raise the bar here so that you guys get better. It's not for me, it's for you guys. I'm doing this for you, for everyone in the league. I'm taking the heat so that you guys can have an excuse to just be better people, be better GMs. Because right now,
it's talking to you, Sean. Talking to you, Sean.
Sean did his part
last season. Jesus.
Last season, he helped build me into a bigger machine. And this year I did it myself in the draft because I don't think Keller's a keeper for me this year now. My boy Gunther.
Jesus.
I told everyone that he's the steal of the draft. 5 goals in the first 4 games. He didn't get anything today because, man, Jersey shut them down. But it'll happen. You can't win everything. But they started Veg, and that's what happens. That's why you don't go with Veg over Ingram. They played fine until Veg started flopping around. But we won't get into that. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about Gunther and how good he's going to be this year. I said he would get 35 to 45. And he's definitely on pace to hold up that promise that I made. And when he does that, he's probably earning a keeper spot on my team. Any closing remarks, boys? Let's start with you, Kyle.
Yeah, a lot of trash in this league. Gotta start cleaning up this league a bit this year. Yeah. We're going to see a goose egg from Travis.
I like that. I started cleaning up the trash last week. I'm going to keep going this week. What do you think, Corey? Do you have any final words?
Nah. Hopefully it's a win this week.
Oh, you need that. You can't. You don't want to get too mouthy because if you lose to Casey, it's like, what are you doing with your life?
I know. Might have to go full scorched earth here, like Travis.
That's it. All his keepers will be for sale.
Just to set Kyle off.
But only in the offseason.
Everything to Kyle.
In the offseason for the draft, all his guys are for sale. Like, don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, send them my way.
All right, boys. Well, it was a pleasure talking hockey with you. It's nice educating you guys on what's actually going on in the league. That's everyone watching at home. I know Braden said he was watching last week. Keep
Oh
watching it,
shit.
buddy, and maybe you won't finish last. You'll learn something about how the league works. Uh, guy's fucking clueless, though. Didn't even know the joke about him for fucking 4 years.
Yeah, we gotta start. We gotta start a new one. Two guys, one cock.
Two guys, one cock. I like that.
That's
Braden,
a
if
good
you're
one.
watching, I would love for you to switch your name to that. That's a great name right now. And I kind of want I want to exercise my rights as the champion to name your team, and that's what I want you to fucking do. Thank you, Kyle, for that. Finally giving something back to the league, Kyle. Thank you. Um,
You're welcome.
some good matchups this week. I look forward to defeating two guys, one cock. Yeah, good luck everyone this week, except for you, Braden. Go fuck yourself.